Welcome to Sphinx City, gang. This metropolis is full of wonder, magic, and opportunity. But like any major city, lurking in the shadows are those vying for power and control, by any means necessary. They say money is the root of all evil, and that couldn't be more true than in a place like Sphinx City. The mysterious figures pulling the strings are willing to do anything to enact their plan. But they didn't account for one thing. There are 3 individuals living in Sphinx City who work for a top-secret organization called No One. They're not going to allow their city to be taken advantage of so easily. These agents are about to be hard at work following a trail of blood and money. But they don't realize just how deep this path leads. Will they be able to put a stop to it and save Sphinx City? Only one way to find out.
Hey gang, and welcome back to Soyouwannabeadm presents Sphinx City. And the gang's all here.
Well,
that's actually super not true. I just lied. I'm so sorry. I deeply apologize. The gang's not all here. We're missing, unfortunately, Belkor Iron Belly. But most of the gang is all here. I'm Justin. I'll be your game master, dungeon master, as usual for tonight. And we also have 2 out of 3 of our amazing players.
I'm not going first. To introduce.
Oh, I'm Taylor, playing Jastor. How we doing?
I'm Sean, playing Uland.
Wrong campaign.
Uland. I know. Uland Jim Barry. That's me.
Off to an amazing
Oh
start.
yeah, we got a real nice
vibing,
vibe energy going on right now.
Fine-tuned.
Well oiled.
Doing it. Yeah. Okay.
I have my dice with me and everything.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Only a D&D.
It's only a D&D actual play. They're right there.
Goodness gracious.
I never even left
It was
mic range.
It was quick. Okay. So.
I got all the mics on the right time this time.
Oh, brilliant. We're learning as we go. We're figuring things out. It's going to be great. Okay. So, we are back in Sphinx City, a magical, modern metropolis. It is skyscrapers, cell phones, spells, and magic. It's a combination of all of these things. And so far, we have 3 secret agents, sort of, who work for a top secret organization called No One. That's where Jastor and Uland and Belkor come into play. They've been tasked with figuring out what the heck is going on with these abductions. For the past 3 months, people have been missing in Sphinx City, and no clues have turned up, according to the Sphinx City Police Department, who we know cannot always be trusted. Can never be trusted. I'm self-editing as I go. And last week, on episode 2, our heroes had entered into this subterranean lab that was full of scientists and experiments and technology and stuff, where it became very clear, if not already clear in episode 1, they discovered that whoever's behind all of this is turning these people into animals and then displaying them in the zoo. It was terrible. So, having gone down into this secret laboratory, confronting these scientists, and eventually finding out that the person who seemed to be behind sort of the brains behind the operation, a certain Dr. Monotreme, a platypus man in a mint green suit and a small little derby hat, was conducting strange and awful experiments to these Sphinx City citizens. Luckily, after having a very interesting battle, there were people who were in the middle of flatlining in surgery bays. There was scientists and Uland actually turning into animals as the result of a crazy turret gun that was shooting this bright pink energy. And After following that, gathering some clues along the way, hacking into a computer or two, we eventually made our way to Dr. Monotreme's own personal section of the lab. A fight broke out, as you can imagine. It's D&D. That's gonna happen.
What?
It tends to lean that way. But as the fight breaks out, things go from okay to worse quickly. As Dr. Monotreme, Dr. Monotreme is inside this crazy mech robot suit, and it has a flamethrower on it, gang. Oh no. Because he starts firing this flamethrower left and right. People are rolling bad on their death saving throws.
Who did that?
And one I'm just about to get to it. A Jastor Fixadet unfortunately ends up expiring. Ends up fully failing
dead.
all of the death saves with a nat 1 and crosses over into the afterlife, only to be met with a strange figure who was seen doing some sort of 540 varial flip, I don't know, down a 6 stair onto a rail, a nice little dark slide. Yeah. And with the signing of an interesting extraplanar pact via fist bumping, Jastor agrees to enter back into the life and just fuck shit up. And this figure just revealed their name at the last minute before Jastor sprung back to life as Mullen.
So rad.
As Jastor comes back to life, Uland and Belkor finish off the rest of the battle. Belkor, I believe, being the last to cut Dr. Monotreme not only out of his mech suit, but also into, I don't know, pieces, really. It was pretty brutal. He's got a meat cleaver. It's a whole thing. He's a chef. Did I say that? So that's where we are tonight. The last thing that happened was that they grabbed Dr. Monotreme's cell phone and they began to hear police sirens from above. So with all of that, what would you like to do? As, by the way, Belkor immediately rushes out. You see that even though he didn't die, like Jastor, he did sustain some very intense burns. And so he rushes out on his own, telling you all that he's heading to the SPHINX City General Hospital to the burn ward. So he's in the burn ward at the SPHINX City General Hospital, or at least heading there. As he does that, what do the two of you want to do in this moment? Again, police sirens are, can be heard. They're obviously not in the lab, but you can kind of hear them at a distance.
Yeah, the fact that we're... As much as I want to tear this robot apart, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I could use that and I could use that. I feel like it might take too much time for me to scrap this thing. I think we just need to cheese it.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there do I see a flash drive or anything sitting around somewhere that I can just snag and read later? Because I don't want to be around when the wee-woo wagons actually show up.
Yeah, wee-woo wagons
sure.
are not cool.
No. If SpongeBob taught me anything, wee woo, not good. It's a weird deep cut for people our age. So let me get a Uland. I'm going to say specifically an investigation check or perception. What are you better at, by the way?
Investigation. For sure.
Investigation. Cool. Make an investigation check. Jastor, I'm going to give you the option to do an investigation check, or you can spend some time using Tinker tools and taking some pieces off this robot.
I think I want to take pieces off of the robot. I think that's going to be the move here.
And
Love it.
Investigation out of 19.
Nice.
19. Okay, cool. Taylor, hold on to your number when you roll it.
You got it.
Uland, with a 19 investigation check, you're looking around. You're still in this sort of grimy, it almost looks like a drug lab, like something in your previous experience, probably both as a private investigator and then as well as a police officer, you probably have seen stuff like this before. It almost has the vibes of like a meth lab, I guess. And except there are like some key components that are missing, namely like drugs. And you do, however, find you get Dr. Monotreme's cell phone. That's a big one. You find, in addition to that, you pull out his wallet, and inside of his wallet you find, let's say, $300, 300 gold pieces. And you also find a very like faded looking employee ID. It's very faded. You can tell that it's old just by looking at it just first glance. It looks like a teacher ID to Golem University. On the card it says Dr. Monotreme, and it says assistant head of biochemistry.
Okay.
Okay.
There's an ID card to dupe.
Yeah. That's something we could possibly use. I wonder if my daily guy will actually copy it in the same exact state, or maybe in a readable state. Who knows? Or is it kind of readable? Or is it just, you said it's very old, very faded?
It's readable enough. It's hard to make out, like, there's like a barcode on it that has like, that would be like the equivalent of being scanned and stuff like that, but that's a little too faded to be able to be recognized by like a laser thing. But you, in addition to that, you also do find, it's not necessarily, you don't find like a hard drive per se, but you do find essentially his work notes. So you like are going as fast as you can. You're flipping through these work notes, not able to like read every single page. You do believe that you find enough here that somebody who is trained in chemistry and alchemy and stuff like that could replicate the antidote.
All right. Can I take a quick snapshot with my cell phone there?
You absolutely can.
All right. Well, I kind of want to take a look at stuff. Yeah. All right.
Perfect. And then Jastor, what did you get on your Tinker Tools?
24.
24. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I'm looking for parts to create my little buddy, my little Steel Defender buddy. So like robotic parts and stuff like servos and little gears and gadgets and what's it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. You can easily, using some of the damage that the mech suit sustained in the combat, it's pretty easy for you to use your Tinker Tools as fast as possible, like a NASCAR pit crew, and you're just nice. Like taking off plates of metal, taking off some servos and stuff like that. You even managed to, you don't have enough time to dismantle and take the entire like flamethrower.
Okay.
But I'm going to say that you take like part of it.
Okay.
So write down somewhere, write half of a flamethrower.
Okay.
And we'll figure out how useful that is in the future, I guess.
Okay.
So after checking all of those things, you do hear the sirens starting to get louder.
It's time to go.
What are you guys doing?
It's time to go.
Yeah, let's cheese it. We
All
can't get caught down here.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys start heading out as fast as possible. Before you leave, let me just have both of you make history checks.
11. 12.
1.
12.
1.
1. Okay, cool. I'll say Jastor with a 12. You do remember, although you know that it's not like on it's on a recording loop. You do remember that there were security cameras who caught you guys coming in that main hallway.
Have we seen the security room
with
where
the
those
time
would be?
Yeah, it's just in that main lab part. Like when you came through that dinky hallway with the flickering lights where you first fought the guy with the long white hair.
Okay.
It's right in the lab past that. So as you kind of think of that as you're like rushing out, coming back through the grate that was in the middle where you got to Dr. Monotreme's lab, coming back into that lab where you first fought as animals and stuff like that. And you just take your wrench. Or, I mean,
no, absolutely.
You, or you're just beating
no, yeah, I just want to make them not usable. Yeah, you're 100% right there. Just smash.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you just smash it.
Yeah, because I
destroy it.
I did get that email / hard drive situation off of the computer. So yeah, there's really nothing in here that I'm super concerned about.
Yeah, you got the hard drive off of Monotreme's, one of the computers, and because you found that there was an email to an encrypted person that you didn't have time or hacking abilities in the moment to unencrypt it. You also found out that there a silent alarm was raised at some point.
Yeah.
So you guys are all making your way out. Belkor's already good to go, but you exit through. You're coming back up the stairs, back into the employee hut. Let me have you guys make perception checks as you're still like in the employee hut, making sure that your exit is safe.
12.
You said perception?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
22.
22. Incredible. Jastor, you see a couple of Sphinx City police officers kind of scattered around the zoo, talking with different patrons, essentially, like customers or however you want to think of it, visitors to the zoo. And you also notice that there are two individuals who are clearly with the police, but they're not dressed in like police uniforms. Like they don't have like the sort of street cop attire. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not wearing the black or blues with the little badge and the hip belt and everything like that. You see one of them is wearing like a full suit, like it's just a dark gray, kind of very plain looking. Looks like it's very Men's Warehouse. No offense. No offense to Men's Warehouse, but it's very Men's Warehouse. It's like off a mannequin, just like a dark charcoal gray, black tie, white button-down shirt. Has like grayish hair that kind of like combs over a little bit. Very like thin, like rimmed glasses, like the kind of small ones that are a little like rectangle kind of. Looks like a human, like a white guy. And then you see another one who's with him. The two of them are talking to that Warforged that you met in the very beginning, Biome.
Yep.
The one who like was
given the
as everyone was entered.
Yeah. Given all the
and handing out maps and stuff.
Infobot.
Exactly. And this other officer is sort of just wearing like a button-down shirt, no tie or anything. It's tucked into slacks, and you just see like very plainly has one of those leather like double holsters. It has like two guns that he could do like a Neo moment if he wanted to.
Daniel Radcliffe, if you will.
I will. And I will. Very much so. And as you point that out to Uland, and, you know, hey, heads up, there's stuff going on. Uland, you recognize these two guys.
Oh, of course.
You don't necessarily recognize every police officer, right? The Sphinx City Police Department has like over 100 officers. Like it's just feasibly you're not possible. There's different precincts, there's like different buildings and stuff like that. So it's like you probably know all of the detectives and police officers and stuff and lieutenants and whatever else that are like in the precinct that you worked in. And maybe you've heard of some other ones, like if they broke a big case or something, but there's just no feasible way for you to know every single SCPD officer.
I recognize some
We're back,
officers.
baby. You recognize the two, like, plainclothes officers. You recognize the older guy who has the white hair and the glasses and the suit as Detective Washington.
Okay.
You recognize the younger guy. I say younger because next to the other guy, he's significantly younger, but he's probably like late 40s.
Okay.
With the gun holster. That is Detective Jefferson.
Okay.
You recognize
Washington and
both of
Jefferson.
them.
Love it.
Washington and Jefferson. You recognize both of them from. They were there the day you got let go from the force. It was the two of them and one other detective who was kind of snickering in a corner, very like Gossip Girl level, Mean Girls, kind of like off in a corner, like whispering, like
He doesn't even go here.
exactly.
Stop trying to make
Thanks.
justice happen. It's not gonna happen.
Amazing. Love that. Both of you take inspiration, actually.
I will.
That's-
I love it.
I'll
I
take
love
it.
it.
I love that. Riffing off of my Mean Girls joke. Hell yeah. Okay. Now we're in it. We're loosened up. All right. So now I'm gonna ask a question to Sean through the character. Do you remember the third detective's name?
Shoot, I don't know.
Adam.
It's not worth my time.
I'll give you some clues. Washington,
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Wasn't Lincoln. Oh shoot! I'm racking my brain here. I do not recall.
Go in order. Washington,
Adams.
blank, Jefferson, Adams, Detective
right.
Adams.
Cool.
I'm just curious to see how much.
Man, my IRL history stat is not very high.
Okay, cool. But you don't see Adams anywhere, and that's true for Jastor as well. So, like, with that in the high or low 20s, whatever you got for your perception check, you're confident that he's not here. You do notice that there's probably a dozen other officers, just kind of like beat cops, around the scene, sort of doing their thing. They're interviewing people. They're like starting to set things up. How are you exiting the employee hut as the fuzz it thickens?
Oh shoot! Do I have a disguise? Oh, there's some lab coats by the door, right? Like hanging up in a closet by the door.
Coats. Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else I could use to hide my face? Because these assholes are gonna recognize me, I'm sure. I don't want to raise too much
Get
suspicion.
some just like get the big nerdy chemical safety goggles. They gotta have those PPE. It's proper PPE. It's gotta be around somewhere, right?
Yeah. You did see people down in the lab, especially working in like almost hazmat attire.
Oh wait, and the lockers right by the just inside pushing the button in the lockers, there was some lab coats and goggles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Let's just scientist this. Let's just
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Come on, Scooby Doo disguise. Try and get out of here.
Okay,
Let's hope
cool.
nobody
Wait a minute.
talks to us.
Is there a ladder anywhere? If you're holding a ladder, no one will bother you.
Interesting. Make a perception check.
All right.
Or investigation. You're looking
That's
for a
a
ladder.
nat 20.
Hey, there wasn't a ladder. There is now.
So we
Find
done
a ladder.
our lab coats.
Find a ladder.
Lab coats,
It's
grab a
right-
ladder.
it's not-
Yeah.
Grab a ladder.
There isn't a full ladder. You find like a step stool inside the employee hut, but there's also an actual ladder outside of, like, leaning against the building itself.
Okay.
Probably huge, like, OSHA violations. Like, you can't just leave a ladder out. What if kids just grab it and start climbing it?
We've already established
Yeah.
that safety's not their strong suit here. They,
Oh God.
No. They're turning people into animals.
right? They
Imagine that.
really don't care about OSHA violations.
They're bad.
They're bad
Yeah.
guys. They're bad guys.
Yeah. We all know how I feel about alignment. These guys are evil. That is true. That being said, you all can absolutely like exit the employee hut. You're wearing gigantic goggles and stuff. You have lab coats on, and you grab a ladder and begin making your way towards the entrance.
I would say
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need either stealth or deception, but it needs to be the same from both of you.
Can we please do deception?
Oh.
Pretty please, because I don't have a negative to that.
I do.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
It's a -1. It's only a -1.
Yep. Same here with stealth.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm the other way. I've got a +4 in stealth. So
Shoot. I got a +4 in stealth.
how are we playing this?
Unless you guys split up and kind of are doing sort of separate things, but if you're staying with each other, you're either both stealthing or both not stealthing and trying to pass yourselves off as scientist handymen.
Man, I'm terrified of the stealth roll, but I'll roll stealth.
I really would prefer to do stealth. If you could probably talk your way out of it. What if we split up and just meet up outside? Because I think I can just hop the fence.
Okay. Is the ladder we found small enough for one person to carry?
Here's the step stool.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the steps. Cool. Yeah, I think I'll do that then. I'll definitely be trying to deceive my way as we split up.
Okay. Okay, cool. You guys split up.
All
okay,
right.
so Uland, deception, Jastor, stealth.
Before we split, where are we meeting up?
There's a coffee shop not too far from here, I'm sure. Let's just go meet somewhere public and neutral and kind of talk about what we got to do next.
All right. Yeah, the further we are away from the zoo right now, the better.
100%.
Cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to do.
Incredible.
All right, I got a 15 on stealth.
Ooh, yeah.
What now?
Say that one more time, Uland.
Sorry, dirty 20 on deception.
Dirty 20. Okay. All right. That worked out great. Yeah, you seem to the police seem to be so like focused on different things. The detectives are talking to Biome and sort of in the middle of it. Jastor, you're like sneaking around and hopping over.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop over like the
and
sidewall
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're hopping
Doing
over
goblin things.
walls and yeah. You're a lot of scurrying.
There's a lot of this action. It's not necessary, but I do it anyway.
A lot of this.
A lot of this.
Just goblin
brilliant.
things.
Normal goblin things. Uland, I want you to make your deception check was brilliant. You can easily make it through to the entrance and then past that. But if you want to take a risk, you can overhear the detectives talking with Biome.
Yeah, I kind of want to know what they're talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Make a perception check.
All right. That's 12 plus 1, 13.
13. Okay. With a 13, you overhear Detective Washington talking to Biome, saying, "All right, so listen. I just want to know where the doc is. Is he in his office? Where are the other zookeepers and stuff like that? It seems like most of the place has been cleared out or something like that. Do I need to give him a ring or something like that? Or can you go get him? What's the deal going on there?" And as he says that, Biome says, "Detective, I am sorry. I have been unable to contact the doctor. But if you wait one moment, I can try and fetch him." And at this point, Jefferson steps up, the younger detective steps up and grabs onto the equivalent, if Biome was wearing clothes, Like
Mhm.
Biome is a warforged, so is like constructed of like wood and metal, but grabs onto like the essentially like where the chest meets the neck, and like there's enough of a, I don't know what to call it, like a break in the armor that he can grab onto that the same way that you would like grab somebody by their scruff. Exactly. And gets really loud to the point where you see like other witnesses and people who are being questioned by other police officers look over as Jefferson grabs him and says, "Hey, listen to me. Don't fuck around with us, all right? We mean business. If the doc is in trouble, we need to know about it." And Biome throws their hands up and immediately is like, "Detective, please, get your hands off of me. This is highly inappropriate." And Washington kind of like puts a hand on Jefferson's arm and says, "Listen, hey, buddy, calm down. Everything's going to be all right. I'm sure that the boss is going to get this thing figured out one way or another." And that's all you're able to hear before you eventually leave earshot. If you stick around for any longer, the risk was I re-rolled their perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily still didn't beat a 20.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So-
no, these assholes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bounce with that.
That's
Perfect.
Dr. Scientist Handyman to you, sir.
I've got a step ladder. I'm too important for this.
Leave. You both leave the zoo successfully, evading the police. Belkor seems to have gotten out of there safe. You don't see him anywhere or anything like that. You feel confident that he's in, even to the point, like, we don't have to role play it, but you could even like text him.
Right.
Like, you guys all have each other's cell phone numbers and stuff like that. You even can like shoot him a text or a FaceTime real quick, and like you see he's in the hospital, in the burn ward being treated. He seems fine, but they've claimed that they're gonna probably keep him overnight.
Burns suck. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's bad news.
Sounds like Belkor was overdone.
Although this is fantasy world, all he has
Did
to
you
do
order
is
your chef well done? I know. It is
lay
D&D,
down
so
for
really
it.
it's
Lay
just like,
down
take
for
a
it
nap.
out. You go lay down for 8 hours. All right, you're
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah, that's why the hospital's keeping him overnight.
Right. Exactly. Got to make sure he gets that long rest. We're just going to keep
Precisely.
you here to make sure you get your long rest, and then we'll let you go home.
So you both are trying to meet up with one another at a like a coffee place, like a cafe.
Yeah, just
Kind of,
somewhere,
right?
somewhere that there's people, but it's quiet enough to talk.
Okay. Yeah. Your best bet without having to go too far or anything like that is either you can go Upper East Side and go to what is the title of it is actually the Bodega. Or
Okay.
you can go Upper West Side and go to either it's actually too late. There's Owood a Bagel, but they only do breakfast, so they're closed now.
Mhm.
But there is still the Kitty Cafe. You know, it's a cafe that's full of cats.
Right.
There's just so many
Right,
cats
yeah.
on the ground. They jump on the tables. People seem to love it.
That's really tempting.
I'll let you all decide how you guys feel about that.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we both kind of like scattered, and now just like text message. Like I don't know. Kitty Cafe's kind of close.
Oh man. Could also go to my apartment. You know, problems and pests, peace and passion. That was the apartment, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
we could
nailed
meet there.
Yeah. Okay. That works. What's your address?
Alright, I mean,
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you guys head over to the Upper West Side. As you exit Midling Park, entering Upper West Side, immediately you're hit with just the sound of the city again as you leave this like natural oasis in the middle here, and passing by the SPHINX City History Museum, RBG, Attorney at Law, the Harlem Square Market, eventually making your way to Peace and Passion, or as its tenants call it, problems and pests. And the two of you kind of meet outside and can easily go up to Uland's apartment and decide what to do next.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So we have some places to check out. It might be a little too early to go to church or the church. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ah man, but we could until they open, go check out a few of the things.
Yeah, I've got this decryption stuff. I've got a friend that might be able to get this email decrypted, and I need a little bit of time to. I think we're gonna need some other tools, and I need to make it. So I'm gonna need a little bit of time, I think, by myself.
Okay.
Nothing crazy, but I do need to swing by my buddy's house, and he's a little cagey. I don't know how he'd react to having another, like a stranger show up. Is that a fair assessment, Justin, of Emmis? Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know your friend Emmis, a prolific, but obviously secretive just by the nature of it, hacker. Is incredibly cagey is a perfect word for it. Yeah.
But we can reconvene. Where were you thinking about going?
Well, I've got a few leads on people to look into, like this Manfred Dubois, or someone left a note that just said, "What is it? Thanks for the device." Was it Lovejaw?
Right.
No, actually,
no, that was. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Lovejaw was on the Phoenix Bank receipt.
That's
Lovejaw was like a subsidiary, or think of it like a PAC, like a super PAC. Some entity that was giving money to the zoo. That's Lovejaw.
Okay.
The note that you found explicitly said, "Thanks for the device. Boss is going to love it." Signed, Manfred Dubois.
All right. I want to figure out more about these people.
Yeah.
Uland, you also know that you have a connection in the SPHINX City Police Department.
Jax.
You have Jax.
Oh, yeah. All right. Ooh, no one saw me at the zoo. Yeah, I could pay a visit to the precinct. Pay Jax a visit. Buttering up.
Yeah. You know also that he handles like the equivalent of like the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
You could also call. That way you don't even have to show up. Your call though.
Yeah. No, I'll call. Man, if I don't have to actually go somewhere and see someone in person, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
All
okay,
right.
cool. And then you both know that the church, being a goth nightclub in Wrong Village, that's the neighborhood of SPHINX City that it's found in, is the kind of thing that probably opens around 9:30, 10 p.m. and then stays open until like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. even.
Okay. So we got time.
Okay.
You absolutely have plenty of time to make that happen for sure.
All right.
So the two of you are splitting up?
I think that's the move. Do you want to just meet back here after we're all done?
Sure, we can head to the church.
And then yeah, we'll head out there.
Cool. Yeah, works for me.
Cool.
All
right, I'll be back in a bit.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. So, Jastor, you head out, you leave Peace and Passion in the Upper West Side and begin heading towards Emmis Doss, your hacker friend. Emmis is incredibly cagey. You know that they are big on like conspiracy theories and different like dark web sort of secrets and trying to put like threads together that probably should never have even been thought of and stuff like that. But he's reliable, he's loyal, and he does have some interesting information as well as an incredible knack when it comes to hacking specifically and technology and stuff like that. I imagine that you two would have met just by doing some of your jobs, like a connection that you would have made through the grapevine of just every once in a while somebody asks you to fix something that's a little too on the computer hacking side of things, or like tech, that side of tech that's like a little outside of like, you know, mechanical and electrical engineering. This is like computer IT shit.
Right. Just a little bit on the other side of the railroad.
Exactly. Yeah. So he would live in the Seashell district. So you can just easily take a taxi. You could order a tuba. You could get on the subway or something like that.
Take my motorcycle.
Oh, you have a motorcycle. Da. Okay, perfect. You hop on your hog. And
I'm a little goblin, so it really is more like this.
Oh,
just a regular sized motorcycle is huge on me.
You didn't get the ultra large handlebars where you have to.
No, because then I have my little feet kick and I can't reach the pedals.
A little guy.
Just a little guy.
So you get on your motorcycle and start tearing through SPHINX City south towards the Seashell district. You eventually make your way to his apartment, which you know it's located above a sort of like mom and pop electronics and appliance store. Like one of those kind of like used stuff, like refurbished, very like homey and just like the opposite of sharper image, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like this is like, if it's like randomly you're like, shit, my microwave broke, I need to get a microwave, like this is the perfect place to go. Cheap, you could get one.
Right.
It's like 8 years ago model, but like it works.
It works, right.
The artifact.
You've been here. Yeah, you've probably been here a couple of times. And it's called Tekvana.
Okay.
And as you're outside of it, because Emmis lives above Tekvana.
Of course.
Like the person who owns it just like rents out that upper apartment space and stuff like that. And you see that it's like 5 p.m. ish right now, give or take, and it should be open. This is like great business hours for it to be open. It appears to be closed at the moment, and it has that like the you know, like the cage kind of thing that you pull down.
Yeah.
It has that is like pulled down, so it's like officially it's like very much closed.
Right.
And you see sort of on the door, plastered on the front door, it says going out of business, fire sale coming soon.
Okay.
But as you notice that, you clock that for a moment and go past, find the staircase and the entryway to get into the actual like
the apartment
where
area.
some of the apartments are and stuff. Yeah. And eventually you make it up to Emmis's door. As you knock on the door, you hear some like shuffling from beyond the door. And you can hear, although you can't necessarily like see a huge difference, but you can hear like metal moving around as you imagine. I mean, you've been in Emmis's apartment before, so you're kind of familiar with this. Like he's moving the thing so he can look through the peephole.
Right.
And you hear his voice just going, who is it?
I raised my hand up to the people. It's Jastor.
Oh shit. Looking through the hole. Like, move back. You're too close to the door. Oh shit, Jastor. All right, hold on 1 second. And then you begin to hear like dozen different locks and bolts and
Naturally.
different things unleashing. before finally this like heavy metal. You, like I said, you've been here before. This is not like the original door. This is like a door that Emmis added.
Right.
This massive door opens, and you can enter the apartment. As you enter Emmis's apartment, it is dark. It has a smell of like hot Cheetos and old ramen. And there is like a wall, like, you know how sometimes like a hardcore gamer will have like 3 monitors.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, it's like a security office. Like there's like 8 monitors, like a wall of monitors. There's an entire like closet that's just like a server room with like different towers in it and stuff. Emmis is a half elf. Has like sort of dusty brown blondish hair, kind of short, almost kind of like mine, like short on the sides and the back, but like a little bit longer on top. Has freckles and glasses, and you notice that like his like one of his eyes has like a red dot in the pupil, like right where the black dot of the pupil would be is just like a red dot. And you see some bandages around his forearm, like some wrapping bandages up his arm kind of. He's wearing like just like a t-shirt that just says like "Seek the Truth," and like skinny jeans. And he just sort of like, as soon as you enter and come into the apartment, he closes the door behind you, starts bolting everything closed again. All right, what's going on, man? What do you need?
Well, I was hoping you could decrypt something for me. Got a little, like hold up like a thumb drive with the email stuff on it.
Okay, awesome. I can do that for you. But can you do something for me?
What do you need?
I need you to research crypto, buddy. I need you to get in on it. All right?
Come on, man. We've talked about
this. The future. The blockchain is the future. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, buddy.
I know. I hear you, but it's too complicated. I just don't understand how. It just doesn't make any sense to me still.
It is the future, okay?
Right.
Money.
You keep saying that.
It's imaginary. It's fugazi, fugazi. It's nothing. Do you understand?
Right.
It's just paper. It means nothing. That's what we're doing, except it matters. Does that make sense?
No.
I'll send you another email.
Okay.
All
right.
Read
sure.
up on this
all right.
stuff,
all right.
I'm
yeah.
telling you.
For sure.
All right.
For sure. Do you mind if I do a little tinkering while you're working on that?
Yeah. Go up to the second desk over there. Push that laptop aside. I was working on it for a client, but
yeah, thanks.
Don't touch anything extra either.
That's fine. I brought my own stuff. I need a table.
Good. All right. Fantastic. You go over to the second desk. You just see that there are like 12 cell phones all plugged in, all on the same thing. Like,
right. It's all Pokemon Go.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly. It's all Digimon Go. And he... Think about it, man. Digimon is an isekai.
Yeah.
A different world.
Yeah.
He's all about it. So then he takes the hard drive from you.
Sure.
Are you only giving him a hard drive, or are you giving him Monotreme's phone as well?
I'll give him the phone too.
Okay. You give him the phone. Give him the hard drive. He looks at it. As you give it to him and stuff, he looks at you and says, should I even ask who this is or who this is from or anything, or better I not know?
Probably better you don't know.
Say no more. I got it. he heads over to his computer. You see him like there's a some kind of energy drink that's too many bright colors on the can, and you just see him like pound it and then just like crush it on his forehead as he undoes the wrapping on his arm.
Right.
And you see that he has what at first glance appears to be a tattoo, and it looks like a wire that sort of comes down from his arm, and right like where I have this star tattoo is like the equivalent of like a USB thing.
Okay.
And he takes he pulls on it and pulls it like a wire that like comes out of his forearm and plugs it into the phone and starts going away at it and starts typing things in so fast. You've never seen thumbs move so quickly as he's just like trying passwords
almost
and doing different things.
Robotic,
and, like jailbreaking the phone.
They are.
Almost. Yeah. He like looks back at you kind of like giving him an interesting stare because he didn't have that previously the last time you were here.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you, rolls his eyes and goes, "It's called biohacking, dude. Get in it. Come on."
Right. What was I thinking? Okay, let's get started.
I'm thinking about splicing my DNA soon, but that's another story.
That sounds risky. It sounds risky, I'm going to be honest.
I risk high reward, friendo. He's in it. Okay, as he's working on those two things, you're trying to describe to me what you're trying to make or like role play what you're making and
okay, yeah, so
looks and stuff.
As part of my level up, I get a steel defender, which is like another like ally to have in combat. And so
Yes.
what I'm thinking is I want to do there's this game, Hi-Fi Rush, and there's like this little ball thing. It's just like that follows you around and like kind of just like hovers a little bit. But then it also can transform into a cat.
Okay.
And I kind of want to do something along those lines. Like I want to have it have like a 2-form deal where, except instead of a little hovering ball, it's going to be, for some reason, I just feel compelled to make a skateboard as one of the forms. And then the other form will be like a kind of a medium to large dog, like a mastiff or something like that.
Okay. Hell yeah.
So it like kind of has a little shape shifty stuff. And like that's kind of why I wanted like all those high tech parts from Monotream stuff, because that's gonna make it all kind of work. It's like a little transformer type of deal, but like also like electric. I want to say a hoverboard. Like not like a hoverboard, but like the one with the wheels on the side. You know what I'm talking about?
Gotcha.
Yeah. One of those type of deals.
Oh, okay. Wait, no.
Yeah, it's the one
with
like
the wheels on the side.
Yeah, the hoverboard.
Like Back to the Future.
Yeah, no. Like actual the things that we have, the actual things that we have.
Yeah.
Hoverboards with the wheels that you just kind of.
That's what you want to build?
Yeah. It's gonna be
brilliant.
It's gonna be super fast, but yeah, it's gonna transform between hoverboard and mastiff.
Okay. Awesome. You spend the better part of a couple hours probably taking this time. I should mention our players did level up at the end of episode 2. They're level 4 now. That being said, the better part of probably like 2-3 hours to like really sit here and like you have to, luckily Emmis has anything that you don't have in terms of tools. Emmis can kind of supplement. But you pull out like soldering irons, you have to like put the little mask thing down. You're like really getting into the nitty gritty here of like shaping this metal and fastening different things to it so that it has the capability of transforming. And like, when it's in this form, where do all the extra pieces go?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's got to fold
like,
up.
Transformer toys, like it has to have
right.
Can fold up on each other. But easy enough for you to do. It's a class ability, so I'm not going to make it a roll or anything. because you get it.
Right.
So to God forbid you roll a 1. I'm like, actually, you're level 3 again. So
Knowing my dice, that would happen too.
yeah. You create this hoverboard and Mastiff Transformer Steel Defender.
Hell yeah.
I want you to, if you haven't already thought of this, I want you to, for the rest of this session, think of a name that you're going to call this companion.
Sure.
Essentially.
Should have come up with
doesn't need
one.
to be right now. Yeah,
What
think
a
for
fool.
more than 30 seconds on it. It doesn't need
Literally
to be right
had
now.
all week to think about it, and I'm only just now realizing, hey, I should probably name this thing.
So, you finish eventually working on this Steel Defender as Emmis also finishes on his work when it comes to hacking into the phone as well as the hard drive and everything like that and getting off as much information as possible. I'm going to roll. Okay. Here's what Emmis says to you. Comes over to you. Damn, buddy. This has got some shit on it. You were not joking. This is some high-class shit here. Levels of encryption on this are incredible. Really sophisticated stuff. They must have either hired a hacker or have a hacker work for them or somebody who knows technology and computers really, really well in order to get to the level of encryption that we're talking about here. But, hey, it's me, right?
Well, I brought it to the best.
No problem. They don't call me Windows 95 for nothing. I'm just kidding. They don't call me that. They don't call me that. They call me Emmis, my name. That's
Right.
my name. So, here's what I was able to figure out. Did Sean just get the name?
Oh no, I've been well
Last
aware.
name Doss? Okay.
Just
Sometimes
every time I
takes
hear
people
it,
a while.
mm.
First name Emmis, Emmis. Last name Doss, Dos. Anyway,
the one guy in the back
So-
in the audience.
he first shows you the hard drive from monitoring.
Okay.
That encrypted email is to it's an email between Dr. Monotream and a Detective Washington. It doesn't mention anything super incriminating, and it appears to be the only one. It's fairly recent, like maybe a week old. So it looks like Monotream just didn't get around to deleting it. And Emmis could explain, like, in greater detail than I can, about the fact that he looked for deleted emails and stuff. Like, we all know that if you just delete an email off your account, like, it's still, you could find it probably.
Yeah.
But, like he said, whoever's working on some of the technical stuff behind the scenes, they're very gifted. So, like, they were able to legitimately scrub a lot of stuff.
Is it?
But this email, it was just like, it just fell through the cracks. Like, they just didn't delete this email. It was just in his inbox. So, yeah, there's that email with Detective Washington.
Is it possible that Monotream is the tech guy, or is it likely that there's somebody else?
You and Emmis working together, you don't believe that Monotream was the tech guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can put some of that together with just, I mean, the part of it is kind of like he was a professor or an assistant department head of biochemistry at Golem University.
Right.
So you know that his specialty is biology and chemistry specifically.
Mm-hmm. So not
That being said,
but that being said,
not necessarily, probably good with tech, but not to the level that Emmis is talking about.
right.
And then he brings over the cell phone. He mentions a couple of things. So, first of all, there are the most important things, other than like other personal texts and stuff like that. He brings it over, hands you the phone. First, he says, "This is what I always tell people. Have a burner. Have 2 burners. Everybody should have burner phones. I don't understand. This obviously was this guy's personal phone. He's doing business and pleasure on it. I don't even want to tell you something about a naughty dragon or something. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I left that alone. What I do know is he got texts on here to some unknown numbers. Now, I don't know exactly who these numbers are because, you know, they're not saved on his phone or anything like that. So at least he was smart enough not to save them as contacts in his phone. But there's 3 in particular that come to mind. The first one, we'll just call that number 1. The first text, it mentions experiments. There's mention of experiments. It talks about different tests that were being done. It mentions some of the first trial was a complete and abject failure. Second trial getting a little bit closer. The third round of experiments was fairly successful, and according to this, they're planning on moving to the next phase.
Okay.
The second text number 2, a different unknown number.
Okay.
They mentioned at one point a guy who owns this phone. He refers to the person, he slips at one point and refers to the person as detective. There's no mention of name or anything like that, but he slips.
Okay.
Calls them detective. You know, like you call somebody Bud or something like that. He calls them detective in one of his texts, but similar stuff. They're mentioning advancing to phase 2. And then they're talking back and forth, and they mention a different, they mention a doctor. Does that ring a bell or anything like that? Anything I should know?
A different doctor? Because this phone is a doctor's phone.
Yeah, the way that it sounds doesn't sound like they're referring to the owner of the phone.
Okay.
It sounds like they're talking about somebody else.
Possibly. Only one real doctor that I know of right now, but it's definitely a lead.
Okay. And I mean, you could probably try and find these numbers a little bit. I mean, I kind of got other shit to do, but you can give it a bing and try and see if they're dumb enough to fucking put their numbers out online or something like that. Who knows? But then this third text is the most interesting to me. Given, you know, keep in mind, I have no dog in this game. But it's another unknown number, but this one, the number is even weird. I mean, they're all unknown numbers, but this one's especially weird because it's not the right number of digits. You know, it should be 10 digits, right? Like area code and then 7 numbers. It's like 15 numbers.
Is that like
it doesn't corroborate with overseas. It's not like an international number. There's something weird here. Okay. And then there's like the text isn't even in common or any languages that I recognize. Here, look at this. And he shows you the phone. You're looking at it. It looks like hieroglyphics almost. Like it looks like
wingdings.
Completely nonsensical. Like, yeah, almost. Pretty much. You see him, he even like takes the phone from you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him like tap something on the side of his temple. And you see his one eye, the red light, like begins to glow brightly, and you see like a little scanner pop out and like scans the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, that's so weird. I can I have a little trick, biohacking. I have a little trick where I can comprehend some languages, even ones that I don't know. It's not registering. I don't know what the hell that is.
Odd.
But I don't know. Maybe you'll have better luck.
Okay.
I mean, I sat here for a while trying to look at these symbols and trying to figure out if it's some sort of like, this one stands for A, this one is B. You know what I mean? That fucking didn't work. So I can't crack it. I do the Sphinx City Times crossword in pen. That's how good I am. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't got it. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Okay.
Anyway.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, my pleasure. You know, we got to look out for each other's backs. You know?
Absolutely. What's going on downstairs? What are you good? Because
geez,
they're
don't even get me started.
Like they're closing.
Who's
Yeah.
the Tekvana.
Tekvana place. Yeah. That's going down? Are you good? Or is this place?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm like sort of worked into the contract and everything like that. There's some sort of disconnect in terms of property ownership and the deeds and whatever. But
okay.
It's a old family friend of mine. His name is Hoozy, is his first name. Hoozy owns Tekvana.
Okay.
And he essentially got like bought out.
Gotcha.
And I talked to him about it. You know, if it was something that he wanted, I would be more than happy. I would be happy for him. You know, it's something that he's interested in and he wants to move on to other things. Fantastic. It seemed like a real shitty deal. Like very, he's getting money, don't get me wrong, but like very, what's the word? Aggressive.
Right.
It was a very aggressive deal or
who's buying
transaction. Shit, hold on. He gave me their business card. And he like starts going into drawers and stuff like that. He's like tossing stuff out. He goes, "Oh, here it is." Hands you a business card. A very nice business card. Thick letter stock. It is embossed. It's very, very nice. It says Romance Realtors.
Mm-hmm.
On the back of it, it says Romance Realtors. It has a website name and an address. The address is specifically in the financial district, where it says that's where their HQ is, their headquarters. And it on the back of the business card, it says home is where the heart is.
So he wasn't really planning on selling. They just came and like aggressively tried to move him out of here.
Dude, you can't trust anybody. Everybody's got eyes out. Everybody's looking for the bottom line. And the bottom line, it's money. Okay? Follow the money trail. You find the cheese. You find the cheese, you find the rats. You understand? Speaking of rats, have you been in the sewers lately? Something's going on.
Can't say.
Get into it.
Can't say I have.
Something's going on in the sewers. That's all I'm saying. Okay?
All right, I'll put it in the quest log.
That's all I'm saying.
Something going on in this.
Yeah. I don't know. Clearly, you haven't been down there. Otherwise, you would know.
No, I haven't.
Night and day down there.
Haven't had the pleasure. Well, there is really no night and day down there. It's all underground. So
it's a figure of speech, man. It's a figure of speech. The scum is different. The pond scum that's on top of the sewage water.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than before. It has a different feel to it.
I'll have to take your word on that.
Sounds are different. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
If you get a chance, if you have a day off, if you're racking up PTO, I'm telling you, take some time off. Go into the sewers. The whole world under there, man.
All right.
That's why I'm getting in there. I'm talking to people in the sewers, you know what I mean? Because what's gonna happen is this above ground place, it's going to shit. All right? So you're gonna want to make some friends, make some connections in the underground. All right?
Okay.
Because when this all falls apart, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go down.
Right, of course.
I'm telling you.
Do they use crypto down there?
Factory. What's up?
Do they use crypto down there?
They do.
They do?
They do.
In the sewers, it's a crypto economy down there? I'm just curious.
Big crypto down there. Big crypto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, I just want
Watch out,
to...
though. Constantly trading in shit coins.
Shitcoin. Amazing. Amazing. I already gave you inspiration today.
All right, cool. Well, I'll look into all this stuff. I really appreciate you letting me help me out with the encryption and let me use the bench there. I'll probably see you around for sure.
Of course. Listen, Jastor, anytime. I definitely want to learn more about this. I mean, this is super interesting to me. I've never seen a language that I couldn't scan, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'll definitely
let me know how things go. I don't want to get too close though. Is this kind of thing dangerous or anything? Should I wipe my hard drive now that it's plugged into this?
I don't know how dangerous it is.
Guy right here?
Yeah, I mean it's
Okay.
not safe information.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
I'll scrub it.
Sounds
it tonight.
good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm on. All right. Well, yeah. If you need anything else, hey, next time, call first, okay?
Sorry, it was a kind of heat of the
didn't know
moment
who
thing.
was
I'm
knocking on
sorry.
my door. I get it. You know.
I was running from the cops. You got to understand.
Hey, I've been there. I don't talk about it a lot, but I've been there.
Right.
Anyway.
Better you
not know. All right. Take care, buddy.
Okay, bye.
And he unlocks all the doors. You leave, closes behind you. You hear them all relock and everything like that. All right, gang. We're gonna take a really quick 5-10 minute break, probably.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back to keep seeing what's going on. Uland talks to a connection at the SPHINX City Police Department, Jax.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully trustworthy. We go back. Right. All right.
Hey gang, I'm Justin.
And I'm Taylor. We're co-hosts of the So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master podcast.
We're two neurodivergent friends who wanted to talk about D&D and tabletop games.
But more specifically, we wanted to focus on being a dungeon master.
We know that for many people, the idea of running the game can feel daunting and even scary.
So we wanted to help remove some of the barriers and fears that prevent people from getting behind the DM screen.
It's our goal to make everyone feel comfortable enough to try being a DM.
We've got episodes on session prep, world building, combat, homebrew, and more.
And we're able to bring all of this to you, gang, because we're lucky enough to be sponsored by Big Milk.
Justin, we are not sponsored by Big Milk. I don't even think Big Milk is even a thing.
Agree to disagree. Anyway, we have new episodes coming out every Wednesday.
Check us out on all the podcast apps. So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at So You Want to Be a DM.
Or email us your questions, stories, or ideas over at soyouwannabeadm@gmail.com. For instance, you can email us your favorite way to use milk. Maybe it's as simple as cereal. Maybe
I have to put a stop to
or...
this. I have to. Justin, you can't keep inventing fake sponsorships. It's going to get us in trouble one of these days.
In trouble? Taylor, I think you're overreacting. It's not as if Big Milk is going to break down our door.
Justin, is there someone at your door?
Yeah, just give me a second. Hello?
Are you Justin?
Yeah? Who are you?
We're the dairy detectives sent by Big Milk. You're coming with us.
What? Hey, get off of me! You can't do this!
Okay, well, that was terrifying. So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master, everywhere you find podcasts. Check us out.
Hey, gang, we're back. Last we left off, our heroes have escaped the zoo, being flooded by police officers and two detectives, Detective Washington and Jefferson, who were clearly questioning one of the zoo employees a little harshly. And but our heroes managed to escape without leaving any glaring clues behind or anything like that. And
hopefully,
as far as
hopefully,
yeah. Yeah, that's why I gave you guys that history check to see if you could remember that there are security tapes. But that's been destroyed. And after meeting at Uland's apartment, they decide to split ways. Jastor goes to talk to his hacker friend, Emmis Doss, and discovers some interesting things, including some mysterious texts between Dr. Monotream and a couple of individuals, including one that not even comprehend languages could decipher. And also, Emmis Doss just went into a whole tirade about different conspiracy theories and stuff like that. We find out that the Tekvana, the electronic and appliance store underneath his apartment, was just recently bought out by Romance Realtors. And lots of mentions about how things are changing in the sewers. Also, what else was hacked? The encryption email between a certain detective, Washington, I believe it was, and Dr. Monotream. Some of these emails mentioning experiments, mentioning testing and trials, and more recently that they are moving on to phase 2.
Whatever that means.
But now
sounds like a bunch of hoo-ha, if you ask me.
Sounds like it. But now we move over to Uland J. Barry, Private Eye. Back in his apartment. Uland, what are you up to?
I am going to my cork board, getting the yarn out. I'm like, rubbing my hands together, like, let's do this. I got some names, got some organizations to look into. Let's try and draw some lines, huh?
Let's do some investigating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
All right. I do know that I have some things to look into, but I do not know much about them. I do also know that I have a connect at the police station. Jax, my old, I call him friend.
Yeah.
You know, he was one of the people that was actually legitimately sad to see me go. I think he knew that I was trying to do right by, the people of the city. So I feel like maybe if I give him a call, he might be able to, I don't know, run some plates. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Definitely. So you are going to call the precinct?
I am tempted to go out and use a payphone to do it instead of my own cell phone.
Yeah, that's smart.
All right.
You go out into the streets of the Upper West Side, and it takes you a little bit. There aren't many payphones these days, but you do manage to find a payphone without having to get in a taxi or a subway or something like that, and can call the SPHINX City Police Department. You know which precinct he works at, which is the main one. You do know that Jax is the stepson of the chief of police.
Yes.
Chief Samuel Snaggletooth's stepson is Jax. So you call the police precinct. It rings for a little bit before eventually picking up. Yeah, hello. This is the SPHINX City Police Department. This is Jack speaking. If this is an emergency, hang up and call 911. But what's up?
Dax, it's been a while. You sound good. You recognize this voice?
Nope. Nope. Who is this?
I'm not gonna kid you. It's Uland. Uland, how you been?
Oh, Uland, buddy. How's it going? How's everything?
I could complain, but who cares, right?
I mean, yeah. Who would listen?
I don't know. I'm trying to do some justice seeking in my own spare time, and I'm just wondering if I could, ping pong some ideas off of you. Let's see if you might be able to point me in the right direction.
Yeah. Let's meet up sometime. My shift ends actually in just a about a half hour if you want to meet up somewhere. I hear that the Olive Yard is doing some new specials. They got this all the breadsticks you can eat kind of thing going on.
You know what? Yeah, that sounds nice. Let's do it.
All right, fantastic. I'll get us a table there. You don't have to do reservations there, but just in case. Can't be, hey, can't be you can't be too safe.
No names.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure, no names. Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you again, buddy.
Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it.
All
Great.
Right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Cool. See you soon. Ooh, I can't wait. Hot day at the Olive Yard.
Belkor would be furious.
Oh, I bet.
The most inauthentic Fey food ever at the Olive Yard.
It's frozen and reheated. Come on.
Well, he had to go get horribly burned and have to go spend the day in the hospital.
In that 30-minute time that you have, you know that the Olive Yard is in Sphinx Square. It's not that far away. Is there any one of this pieces of information or these clues, names you said you wanted to maybe look into that you would like to do a little bit of research really quickly before you head off?
Sure. If I have any way to look into Manfred Dubois, that guy in particular.
Manfred Dubois.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Make an investigation check as you give it a bing.
14.
14. With a 14, it's easy enough to find Manfred Dubois' name. It actually pops up a lot.
Oh.
This is a pretty prolific figure in Sphinx City. In fact, Manfred Dubois is 1/3 of the this trio of sort of joint CEOs and owners of romance realtors.
Mm-hmm.
The other two names that are linked with his in this particular endeavor is Leo Linetti and Paolo Marzipan.
What was that? Paolo?
Paolo, like
Okay.
Paolo.
Okay.
Marzipan.
Okay, I'm sure they're great people. Yeah, let's do this.
So yeah, you find out pretty easily that Manfred Dubois is a minotaur. Big guy. You see you easily can head over to the Romance Realtors webpage. You find pictures of the three of them. Manfred Dubois is an absolutely massive minotaur. Big guy. He has horns that almost look more like a Texas Longhorn almost, but almost more closely related. Actually, nix that comparison altogether. It's more closely related. There's a very specific type of bull that lives in Africa that has these horns that have the shape of a Texas Longhorn but are massive. They go out, they're so big. Each horn is probably 2.5, 3 feet long almost.
Oh my god.
That's in our real world. Are you binging it right now?
I totally binged it. The Ankoli Watsui, please forgive my pronunciation. That almost looks like a drawing I would have made when I was in second grade.
Yeah. Comically large horns. That's kind of what he looks like in terms of the horns and everything. Very, very large. All of his suits, you can tell, just by matter of fact, have to be custom tailored to be able to fit his frame and everything like that. Mm-hmm. His two partners and friends and co-CEOs and everything, co-founders. Leo Linetti is a type of tabaxi, a lion folk.
Okay.
Just has the long mane, always slicked back. There's just so much product in it.
How much is product? How much is sleaze?
Yeah, column A, column B kind of thing. And Paolo Marzipan appears to be a Aarakocra, but specifically a red and blue macaw.
Oh, okay.
bright
Ooh.
red, mostly bright red feathers, white around the eyes, kind of, and then like blue, green, yellow, sort of around their body. But with the 14, that's kind of the gist of what you get.
Okay. Would that little bit of binging take up about a half hour?
Yeah, I think doing enough searching, you find like all the different profiles and stuff like that. You find a couple of like articles, like news articles that have been written about romance realtors. There's a particular newspaper that I imagine you would have heard of, just because it's popular enough that even if it's like not your jam, or even if you like actively dislike it, you would have heard of it.
Okay.
And there's a media company, they mainly do newspaper, but they also have an online presence as well, called The Honey Tongue. The Honey Tongue has what come across to you as like puff pieces. All of the mentions of romance realtors, whether it's Manfred Dubois or his co-founders, all seem to talk about their philanthropy, ways that they're getting involved in the community, how they're helping raise property values and stuff like that. They're helping to bring in people from outside of Sphinx City into Sphinx City and expanding their infrastructure and all these different ridiculous things.
Yeah.
If you read between the lines and compare that to other news articles like Sphinx City Times that are at least a little bit better, not perfect. Sphinx City Times isn't everything and, you know, the end all be all, but at least a little bit more honest when it comes to their journalism. You do find that a lot of these articles and stories about the romance realtors, there's another side of these articles talking about that they're doing philanthropy just for PR reasons, just to improve their image. They're doing it for maybe tax reasons. Maybe they're also having a very heavy hand in gentrifying a lot of the neighborhoods. And as of late, the past, I want to say like 6 months to 8 months, like not quite a year, but like for quite a long time, they've been buying up a lot of property across all of Sphinx City. And it's a lot of property that like is on the cusp of foreclosure or like being condemned, and they're sort of refurbishing it and revamping it, and then some of it is being sold as like very high luxury apartment buildings. Some of it is being kept under wraps in terms of what it's going to be repurposed as or anything like that. And yeah, that's kind of what you find out about both Manfred Dubois and romance realtors.
Okay. It's like I get BlackRock and Vanguard. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah. So with that, you head out and you begin making your way towards the Olive Yard.
Can I
you're
like
here,
brush my teeth
your
and pretty
acquaintances.
myself up a little before I go?
Of course you can.
All
Absolutely. Right. Of course. And you begin making your way towards the Olive Yard. As you do, and you're walking through Sphinx Square, you see the Downtrodden Clown Brigade, a improv theater that they have there, that not only do they put on different shows, but they also have improv classes that one could take. You pass by the Sphinx City main precinct is also in Sphinx Square. There's a beautiful candy store that's very large and incredibly like whimsical and almost magical in nature, called the Wonder Emporium, as well as the Sphinx City Cinema is also in Sphinx Square. It's kind of a smaller cinema. They seem to be sort of a little bit more on the artsy side. Like they're very like avant-garde. It's the type of theater that would show like a lot of like foreign films and interesting new up and coming directors and stuff like that. Like as you're walking by, you see that currently all of the films that they have for the next like couple weeks all are featuring a very specific director this director is virtually unknown. They're like just getting their footing going on kind of thing. And like you're looking at a lot of the movie posters that they have outside featuring like what they're going to be showing in the theater. It's all like, I can't think of a better word other than remix. It's all like, like reboots of classic films, but all of the cast, with the exception of one person in the cast, are puppets.
All right.
So you see a poster that just has like an absolutely massive puppet shark biting onto a small ship, like a small boat.
Yeah.
And there's just like a human man, and it just says like we're gonna need a bigger boat. And then you see like another one that just looks like some sort of sci-fi interesting movie that has a bunch of puppets in all black sort of trench coats with tiny little glasses on. All of them are puppets except for you see Lawrence Fishburne is just not a puppet and is just standing alongside all of these puppets. And last but not least, you see a movie called The Moleskin Notebook. It's just Ryan Gosling with a bunch of puppets. And you get your curiosity aside, keep moving. You have a date set up. You have a time, you have a place to be. Move past that onto the Olive Yard. As you enter into this very kitschy, a little touristy, it's like a chain restaurant, and it has these sort of Fey vibes about it. There's things that sort of remind you of Little Feywild, except everything is kind of
fake,
turned up in it with like, some dial is turned up to where it's like very kitschy and stereotypical kind of, but also like the quality isn't quite there. So as you enter in, you see waiting for you in the lobby is Jax, a very, very fluffy leopard tabaxi who seems to be wearing like a velour tracksuit. So just that kind of like velvet almost.
Yeah.
You guys didn't wear velour jumpsuits in 5th grade? I did.
I sure didn't. I'm sorry.
Nope, not one time.
I did. I went through a whole phase. Yeah.
Did you do the
Matching
chain
track jacket
and all that? Yeah.
Oh my god.
It wasn't good. It's not good, but I did it. So you Jax sees you and immediately, "Hey, Uland! Oh, fantastic, buddy. There you are." Comes in, does one of these kind of like side hug kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2 pats. Good to see you.
Gives you a hug. He holds on longer than you think.
It's
Good to see you, friend. It's been too long.
It has, Jax. How's the precinct treating you?
Oh, jeez. Dad's always breathing down my neck, keeping me at the front desk, answering the phones, checking the log books and everything like that. But, I've been working on some things behind the scenes. You know what? Let's get our table. Table. I have it already set up. Excuse me, miss. Just for 2. Thank you so much. All right. The 2 of you, no wait time, immediately get brought
Not at the Olive Yard.
Not at the Olive Yard. Not right now, at least. Get brought to a table and sat down and everything like that. You get your waters and all your simple stuff. You have a menu laminated. You see they have some basic options. Like the most popular special that they have going on right now is called a tour of the Fey realm. And it's just got like a little bit of everything. There's like a little bite of lasagna, a little bite of chicken parm, a little bite of fettuccine Alfredo, and everything. Just a little tour. And hey, I'm just getting the breadsticks. I'm just gonna eat as many breadsticks as possible. They let you take some home if you hit a certain quota, a certain threshold. They let you bring some home. So that's my mission for tonight. But
looking through, like I'm thinking meatloaf. Yeah.
Oh,
traditional Italian dish.
Oh yeah, real Italian, real thing.
Yeah. Their meatloaf. It's a little dry here. I'm gonna be honest with you, but hey, you do you. You do you.
Something about meatloaf just sounds so right now.
I get it. It's authentic. Hey, but yeah, whatever you're feeling, Hey, and this one's on me. This one's on me.
You don't have to. You don't have. I appreciate
insist.
it. Though.
I insist.
I'm not going to say no. I appreciate you.
All right, good. I don't want to fight. Hey, I don't want to fight you over it. But I never could.
I love this guy.
So, anyway, what's how's things going? I heard you're a private eye now. You're still sort of doing some detective work and stuff. How's that going?
Justice is it's an evolving struggle. Every day brings new challenges for the spread of justice. But you know what? I'm not gonna let anything keep me down. I'll get there. But
that's a spirit.
To be completely honest, it's been hard. It's been difficult to all the sources of information I had when I was at the precinct. They're kind of ran dry when I went private. So just one. Have you heard of anything about I don't want to say anything too much. This is some pretty private stuff, and some of it might be dangerous.
Hey, you can trust me. I'm in on it. I'm dying to get my hands in on something. Something dangerous. Hey, my middle name is Dangerous. It's not. It's Michael, but it could be dangerous.
People always ask me what the J stands for in my name. I tell them Julian.
Oh, okay. I kind of thought it might be Justice, but okay.
You would think. It's not.
I would think. That's what I thought.
Julian. Oh, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me in on it. I'm here to help you. I wanna be in your corner.
I got something that those missing folks. This is really dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
So
all those abductions. Yeah.
Trying to follow a few leads here that I'm trying to, make some connections in my own brain, and it's kind of struggling here again. Anything you can tell me about the dealings of I don't know, in particular romance realtors. It's
romance realtors.
It's a big name.
Oh yeah, they're buying up property all over the place.
That's what I was going to ask about.
I keep seeing their sign. A lot of the small mom and pop shops that I used to go to bought out of business.
Yeah. It really seems like everywhere their name is, on paper it's nice because they're trying to bring in a whole lot of business for the city, but they're just shitting all over people in the process.
I know it. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of things. I see them sort of. It seems good on one hand, but on the other hand, there's some, time-honored sort of institutions that they're getting rid of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when a giant corporation comes in and opens a business. Yeah, they're offering a bunch of jobs, but how many small businesses aren't going to be able to compete with their prices and everything? So it's deeper than that,
Oh, it runs terribly. I'm trying to figure out just what is their angle. They're buying up all these mom and pop shops. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. They must have something planned, or maybe they got some news or something figuring out. I know that they have some sort of connection. I saw something recently in the old tabloids that I think they're connected to Excelsior in some way.
Oh yeah, with the free
I
2-day
don't know
shipping.
the ins and outs. Oh yeah. They do the Excelsior Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it. Hey, Ulan, I'm not proud of it. I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I have ordered from them before. You know, you're in a pinch, you ran out of toilet paper, you need to get something real quick, same day delivery. I'm not proud of it, but I have ordered from them before.
How long were you on this toilet? I'm sorry, and we're getting distracted. All right.
You really
Anyway,
want to know?
I don't. Please don't tell me,
Okay, I
Jax.
won't tell you. Okay,
Oh, but
all
how's
right.
how quick did the toilet paper get to you? I am
It
curious
was
about that.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, like half an hour.
I've been on the fence about getting in on it, but I don't know.
That's how they get you. You know, it's cheaper than the grocery stores. It's cheaper than a lot of the mom and pop shops can do. You know, rent is expensive in Sphinx City. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
I get why people would go to them, but I I don't know.
Criminy.
Anyway,
All right.
I know that they're connected somehow. I don't know if it's just like a mutual admiration between business owners or what, but I don't know. All I do know is that there's some kind of connection there.
All right.
But yeah,
Oh,
so you're working on those abduction cases.
yeah. There's
Oh,
a bunch of
jeez.
names involved that I'm trying to just make some connections for. This helps. They might be connected with Excelsior. Which tabloid did you happen to find that? Any ideas? Oh.
Oh, it's this online uh sort of place that I check out every once in a while. Have you heard of? It's really weird. It on its face doesn't make a ton of sense that this place would have its own like periodical, and yet it does. There's a bodega in the Chronomancy district called El Gato Bodega.
Right.
If It's only paper though. They don't do anything online or anything like that. They just have like one of those little newspaper stands that you can when you're at the register, kind of that last minute little purchase. Yeah, crazy.
All right. You got a bodega in the Chronomancy district, you said.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
to know. You'd be surprised at how many leads you can get from a good tabloid.
Exactly. That's what I'm always checking out as many newspapers as I can, trying to get my thumb on the pulse of the city, one
Hmm.
day I want to be a detective. That's my goal. I
Hey, you
want
know
to
what?
be out there solving crimes and doing the big stuff. Dad doesn't think I can do it, but I think, I think I know what I'm capable of.
You know what? You got the super tough fluff made the right stuff. I think you can do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Hell yeah. I think you're right. I think you're
Oh, yeah.
right.
Cut of your jib. It's a good cut.
Yeah,
Nice.
thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that so much, Uland. Coming from you, yeah, I was always a big fan of your work and everything, and I know that your whole family was a big part of the force. And geez, I hate what they did to you. I know even Dad, and he's not much of a talker or not very affectionate. I don't think. Geez, the last time I got a hug from him is, I don't. You just see him go off middle distance, start staring. I don't think he's ever.
My freaking heart. Oh no. All right. How about
Anyway,
this? Hey, you know what? You help me find some more information about Dubois. And I
okay.
guarantee you, if I can get this wrapped up, draw a clearer picture, I betcha your dad might be impressed.
Yeah. Maybe I can help you crack the case or anything like that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think if we're working together, I think we could find out where those missing people went to and what's going on and what happened to them, and who kidnapped them. We
Absolutely.
could
Yeah,
figure
that's
that
what we're
all
trying to
out.
get to. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, it'd be
All
great to
right.
have, as a good, reliable platonic source of information.
Of course. Yeah, hey, I get it. Hey, maybe we should come up with code names or something like that, you know? We could really get into it, like secret agents or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but you know, it's crazy that you bring this up too, because I think just today over the horn they were talking about some of the detectives were heading down to the zoo. They said that they might have a lead or something like that. Some kind of alarm was tripped, they said, as they were leaving the precinct.
Zoo? It's pretty odd. Why the zoo? Any idea?
Yeah. I don't know. You know, they don't tell me nothing. You know, those detectives, oh God, what are their names? Old guys. Been on the force longer than I've been alive, I'm pretty sure. Jefferson, Adams, yeah. Washington. Yeah.
Adams. Did Adams go too?
He said he was going. He left at the same time as them.
Okay.
But.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen. I don't think I've seen them since I got shit canned. Yeah, that was about it.
Jeez. Yeah, they're. You know, they're the shit cans. That's what I think. I can't stand those guys. I mean, hey, I know, you know, we're supposed to hold the line or whatever, but I can't stand those guys. I really, they drive me nuts. And I even, hey, he kind of like leans in. He goes, hey, and just as he's about to whisper to you, the server comes around with like a giant salad bowl. He's like, all right, Jesus. Sorry, you scared the hell out of me. Giant salad bowl gets put down at your table. A big basket of breadsticks. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. She walks away. So what I was about to say was, you know, you know, when they, you know, when the cops, detectives, whatever, when they leave in their cruisers and stuff like that stuff's all tracked, right? Like you know, that way, God forbid something were to happen, you could kind of tell if they weren't able to make a call and ask for help or backup. You can kind of tell where everybody is, right? And I'm at the front desk, so I got my peepers on a bunch of different lights and buttons, right? I don't know what's going on with those three, but every once in a while they hit like a dead zone or something. It's weird because I've never really like spent the time, you know, I got other stuff I'm doing. I've never really spent the time on like following them from A to B and where the dead zone happens, but they pop off the map at a certain point.
You know, any little bit helps. If you're maybe sometime when you have time with the precinct, you know, maybe,
yeah,
would you be willing to maybe take a look into that and see? Because I don't know. It's not like I have a grudge or anything. Like I'm not going to go postal and, you know, go back to the precinct. No, like I'm back. No, I'm not going to do that. Right. You know, they're not my favorite people either. And I don't know. I've got a hunch. That's all I'll say now. For now, though.
Okay. Hey, I got it. I got it.
Oh man, it's good to see you. It's been so long.
Yeah, this has been great. Yeah. I really appreciate you reaching out. You know, it's been a long time, and geez, I'll take any excuse to meet up with a friend and talk shop. You know, I really appreciate it. So this has been great.
You're good people. You're good people. I miss this. You know, standing at the water cooler. You know, just chit chatting. It was good.
Yeah, just shooting the shit. Look at us. Look at us. Wow. Oh, this is great.
Life's been kind of shit. I can't lie.
Oh gosh, I hate to hear that.
I only got a few friends I can really count on, and man, it's nice that we're connected.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm here for you if you ever need anything or anything like that. You know, I'll try and do my best. I'll keep my ear to the ground, so to speak. You know, and you know, let me get you a chocolate lasagna. It's the least I could do. Let me get you a chocolate lasagna. They got a cake here. It's layers and layers of just chocolate and other shit. And they call it a lasagna. It's not really a lasagna. There's no pasta to speak of. But it's the Olive Yard, so I guess they're allowed to do that. I don't know.
Sounds like it'll go real well with some meatloaf in the belly. Which, speaking of, where is the meatloaf?
Great question. Around that time, we're gonna say that the rest, unless there's anything big you want to bring up, Uland.
Oh, I think I'm good.
Okay, cool. I don't want to cut you off if you have other stuff to ask or anything like that.
Oh no, I'm just maybe I'll get lost in some lasagna, some chocolate lasagna. Maybe I'll get lost in some leopard's eyes. Who knows?
Who knows? Hey, yeah, the two of you have a great time talking and bonding and coming up with some ideas and discussing the case. You're doing the best you can to kind of like make sure that Jax doesn't put themselves into a dangerous situation or anything like that, right? Like not putting their neck on the line or anything. But you have a great time. You have chocolate lasagna. You have meatloaf. Straight up, the meatloaf's not that good.
Yeah,
It's like it gets the job done, but it's
I could call this meatloaf, but I don't wanna.
yeah. And with that, you say your goodbyes to Jax. Jax makes sure to exchange phone numbers with you, so you have Jax's number in your cell phone and vice versa and stuff.
Good deal.
And he tells you, listen, if I find anything out, I'll let you know. And you part ways. As you are heading back to your apartment to meet back up with Jastor, Jastor, I'm going to say it's around that time. We're going to pretend like this is a magical world where both of your errands end perfectly at the same time.
Awesome.
And you link up magically. And with that, you are back both outside of Uland's apartment at the Peace and Passion and can make plans of what you want to do from here.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do share some information with them, like, you know those plainclothes detectives we saw at the zoo?
Yeah.
There was a third.
There was
Not sure where.
Third.
Adams, Detective Adams, all three of them pieces of garbage.
So I've actually got some interesting dirt on Detective Washington myself. He's been talking to Monotream.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That
Yeah.
email that
Yes.
that email that we entered that I got off of the hard drive that was Monotream talking to Detective Washington.
What was going on?
It was talking about the device and this, that, and the third, and how they're moving on to phase 2, stage 2. There's a lot of text on Monotream's phone too about moving on to the next phase, whatever that means. I don't see a whole lot of information, just a lot of references to it, but I don't even know what phase 1 was, to be perfectly honest. Other than maybe the device.
Yeah, I think we walked into phase 1 down there.
The ray gun device, that's probably phase 1. Okay, fair enough.
Probably. I'm
probably
drawing some conclusions here. But, yeah.
That's probably, I would say, a safe bet. So then what would phase 2 be?
That is the question. Let's see. I know. I've been trying to follow all this boy.
Right.
Romance Real. You heard of them?
Yeah, they've actually popped up in some of my research as well. Not much.
Interesting.
They're buying the building below my hacker friend's house.
They're buying a lot of buildings up. Just gonna put that out there.
Okay.
There's also Leo Lanitti, Tabaxi,
Mm-hmm.
and Paolo. Paolo is a Eric Cocker. Come up and good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they're all in cahoots. Maybe even Excelsior's in on it. Who knows?
That
But
would make
there's something-
sense, sort of.
Yeah. Buying up a lot of properties.
What do they
making
need
things
it
rougher
for?
the. That's the question. And it's so many properties.
Yeah.
What else we got going on? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's more to find out. I do want to
Yeah.
stop by a certain bodega and pick up some little tabloid newspaper called well, it's being sold at the Elgato bodega.
Okay.
You heard of the place?
Maybe. Not much of a newspaper guy.
No one ever said that tabloids are a good source of info. Yeah.
All right.
What time is it? Let's take a look.
Sun's coming down now. Now, right? Yeah. So let's. I think it's probably about time to get all gussied up and go to the goth club.
Yeah. Take me to church.
Don't do
Let's
it.
see.
You get us demonetized before we even get monetized.
Everything was like,
Don't do it.
It's so simple.
okay. So you both are heading to the church.
Yeah. I think that's the
In
move.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the move.
Okay. Cool. Are you? You said getting gussied up. You just mean like freshening up, or are you like dressing like goths?
I'll probably put on some eyeliner. Make sure the mohawk's looking fresh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm already basically
Amazing.
like punk is like a step away from goth, so I really don't have to change too much.
That's a take.
Yeah. That's a take.
All right.
That is a take. Cat,
I
what do
think I
you
got a
think?
black tee somewhere.
you put on a black t-shirt.
Yeah,
For sure.
change out of my.
I don't know. I'm
plaid.
just gloomy all the time.
Amazing. So getting gussied up a little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of black clothing, decide to begin to head towards the church in Wrong Village. Are you stopping on the way to El Gato Bodega, or are you hitting that like later?
If it's on the way, I wouldn't mind picking up the latest edition.
Yeah.
You certainly can. Yeah. Chronomancy District is right above Wrong Village.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right there. Oh yeah, it's on the way.
It literally, yeah, on the west side of east side of Sphinx City, it's Chronomancy, Wrong Village, and then Little Feywild. So they're all kind of like right there. So yeah, it's easy enough to stop by the El Gato Bodega. You see that it is run by two tabaxi women. And the store is full of all different kinds of it's your typical bodega. If you're not familiar, it's like a convenience store, usually on a corner. In my opinion, the best ones are on the corners. All different kinds of goods and beverages and snacks, and hot food is even available and stuff like that. You do notice that there are probably like half a dozen bodega cats, like hidden around the bodega itself, like just kind of like if you were looking at the shelving units where like the chips are, there's just like a cat sleeping amongst the chips and stuff like that. Like just they're kind of like a little bit everywhere. On the counter at the register is a small cat bed, and there's two cats kind of curled up, almost like a yin yang sign, like curled up in each other.
Aw.
Yeah, it's really, really cute. And easy enough, right by the front is just a little newsstand that has several different newspapers. There's the Honey Tongue, there's Sphinx City Times, there's and then at the very top, they like intentionally put it at the top because it's their own. You see El Gato, like a periodical. Are you just getting the El Gato?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick up the El Gato for now. I reached in my pocket. I mean, what is the total? If it's a penny, I'm trying to figure out how to speak their language. Or like push something towards the edge of the counter, like maybe push it back away from the edge. I just want to make sure these folks know that I'm here for them.
Trying to be respectful of their culture.
Of course.
Yeah. There's like the bodega cats, and then there's the tabaxi who run it, who are cat people, who are like fully sentient people.
Oh shit! All right, my bad. That is really insensitive of me. I am so sorry. I'll see myself.
Yeah, you don't have to mark out any actual money, but it's like $1 or something like that. Like it's very, very cheap to get this newspaper.
Cool.
And it's very thin. It's like not your normal It almost has it like slightly it's made of just like the normal newspaper paper, but it almost has like magazine vibes in terms of how it's like folded and stuff like that, but it's still very like thin paper. And you pick that up. As you grab it, you see on the front is a mention of the like main headline, I guess, like front page news, if you will, is about another sighting of the Mothman.
All right.
Okay.
There's a photograph that's like incredibly blurry. It literally could be anything. It's also a nighttime photo, and the entire newspaper or periodical is in black and white. So it's like you can't see anything, but it's like proof that the Mothman strikes again. Reading that article, make an investigation check as you're reading this article.
Sure. 18.
18. So you're scouring through. I'm going to count that 18 for the whole thing, kind of. I'll go into more detail on some of the ins and outs of this periodical in a different episode, perhaps. But for the time being, in the time between here and the church, as you're like kind of reading it on your go, you discover this Mothman thing is really interesting. I don't know if Uland would get in on like cryptid news, or if that's like something that would be his jam, or probably not. If like I don't know. That's a question for you and your character.
You know, before no one, probably not, but now, yeah, probably.
Okay. Almost all mentions of Sphinx City's Mothman have him as this sort of vigilante figure. But not like not outrightly. Like it's very interesting because it's a little cryptic, but it's like there was a person was getting in the middle of being mugged, and then like according to one of the witnesses,
not
the Mothman
Batman,
appears.
not Batman, not Mothman the cryptid, but Batman Mothman.
Never heard of him. Yeah, this is Mothman. I don't know who that other person is. There's no Batman in Sphinx City. But Mothman, the cryptid, does seem to kind of operate in this weird liminal space of between justice and darkness.
Always flying to the light.
Yeah, guided by the light.
All right.
Okay, and you also read a quick article. There's not a ton of time because the two neighborhoods are so close to each other. The article, you read a little article about romance realtors. It seems like they're buying up all different kinds of properties, but it seems like some of the properties that they're buying up, every once in a while, they do buy up a property and kind of like quote unquote do the right thing. Do you know what I mean? Like they buy up a property that's having a lot of trouble financially, or something's going on with them. They're having like health code issues, whatever it may be. And they purchase it, become owners of it, and they fix it up and they revamp it.
Okay.
All of those things, so like put on this facade of being conscientious and being philanthropists and all that kind of stuff. But this periodical takes a closer look at that and kind of goes a little bit under the radar in terms of the fact that they have also bought up a lot of residential properties. They're buying a lot of big residential properties, huge apartment buildings, gigantic high rises and stuff like that. That seems to be a lot of what they're purchasing, and they're doing it very like under the radar, like very kind of sneakily.
Okay. They don't want people to think about it.
Exactly. Because the things that are making the most news are the good ones. Mm-hmm. The ones where it's very like all of those TV shows, like restaurant makeover shows kind of thing. You know, like Gordon Ramsay comes in and is like, this restaurant was shit, and now here it is, and it's so much better. Like that. That kind of vibe. So like that gets all this press, and they intentionally, their PR pushes out that a ton. And then they secretively are like, and now we're going to buy this 500 unit place, and we're going to kick everybody out and do all this stuff, raise the prices, and and that kind of goes under the radar.
Like actual gentrification.
Yes.
Ugh, trouble. Okay.
100%. So
Bad people.
With that, you both head to Wrong Village. Now, Wrong Village is really interesting. Uland, you have a little bit of information on this just because even with your time as a former police officer, the police don't really go to Wrong Village. They sort of police themselves. This is a really interesting neighborhood that seems disconnected in many respects to the rest of the city. You know that, and Jastor, it's possible you would also know this just because, I mean, I don't know exactly. I guess that's a question for you to decide if Jastor would be familiar with Wrong Village in any way. But like, there's a lot of, we're not going to get into super specific biological stuff, but like, there's a lot of like half monsters who live here. So like, I guess you'll see. So as you enter this village, you see that it's there's not a lot of people out. It's very like, it's much slower. A lot of the buildings look like they're sort of like in shambles, or kind of like some of them have boarded up windows, and it's very quiet in this part of Sphinx City, with the exception of you can hear the bass of the church. And at the end of this main road that kind of a lot of the buildings and businesses are set up on, at the end of that is an absolutely massive cemetery. It almost takes up like half of Wrong Village, is this huge cemetery called the Lucy T.B. Rizzoli Cemetery. So just like the name is just Lucy Rizzoli, and then in the middle of that are the initials TB. Yeah, just this super huge cemetery. You pass by one particular store that kind of stands out from the rest. It still has some lights flickering on inside and stuff like that. You notice that there's a lot of really weird and interesting. It's hard to push your curiosity aside, the two of you, just because of how like weird and kind of occult vibes and kind of like macabre and just like creepy almost. Like there's a lot of like things for sale. It's a shop, right? And it's called Madame Musk's. And you see just like weird things in the windows, like just all different kinds of odds and ends, and sort of like weird antique things that are in the window, and all different kinds of stuff. Let me have both of you make an Arcana check.
That's a nat 20. It's a good die.
Hell yeah.
I got a 13.
13, nat 20. Okay. With a 13, I'm going to say, Jastor, you notice there is like a lot in the window. There's like a whole, what almost looks like a medicine cabinet full of vials and little potion bottles of various colors and items on the inside and stuff like that. Like you see a bunch of vials that just have living maggots inside. Like very creepy shit on the inside of this shop. Uland, you're looking at the same things, and you also notice all different kinds of stuff. There's an entire barrel full of leeches. There's on the wall, like in a glass case that's like covered in dust, you just see a black trash bag. It just looks like a hefty bag. And you pick up, and this makes a lot of sense because you have magical capabilities. There, a lot of these items are magical.
Okay.
Magic item shop. Her.
So a potential shop in the future. As you pass by that, knowing that you're trying to get to this thing, you need to figure out who T is and talk to whoever that is at the church. You eventually head to the church. Like I said, music is blasting outside. You can hear it, or it's not blasting outside. It's obviously blasting inside, but like it's so loud that you can hear it outside. You hear this like industrial goth music. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like that techno, but like very dark kind of industrial sort of vibes, and
very heavy on the drum and bass part.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah.
As you walk up, you see that there are two bouncers outside who are checking IDs and stuff like that. There isn't a line or anything like that. It's like there isn't any people outside. You think that even though you got here when it's open, you still got here like what is considered to them early.
Right.
Like it's only like 9:30, 10 p.m. So it's still like pretty early for them. Both of these bouncers, you see two women dressed as nuns. They have like glowing red eyes, paper white skin that has these black veins that just kind of go through it, like spidering out from their eyes, and black lipstick. And they both almost at the exact same time, like the twins in The Shining, they both speak at the exact same time.
I don't want to go here anymore.
And you approach, and they both look at you at the same time with the glowing, piercing red eyes, and look at the two of you and say, "Welcome to the church. ID," and hold. Each of them holds a hand out.
Okay. I hand out my ID.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not gonna pick.
They take
with
it,
the bouncer.
look at it, look at you, hand it back, and then you see each of them, because they're kind of on either side of the front door. Each of them like reach forward, grab one of the doors. It's like double doors. Each of them grabs one of the handles and opens it up, and opens the doors and lets you inside. And as soon as the doors like crack open, the music gets that much louder. Yeah.
Just like
blowing the two of you. It's loud. The two of you enter the church. As you enter, it has this very strange, like obviously they're playing into the name of it, right? It has this very interesting feeling where there's a lot of stained glass windows that are almost like all red, like all of the glass is red.
Right.
And there seems to be, they're not even like connected to the outside walls. They seem to just be like features, if you will. And there's like some kind of like light fixture behind the stained glass that pushes through an artificial beam of light through the red stained glass, casting these like red beams of light across the dance floor and the seating area that has like a lounge area where people can sit and talk, I guess, even though it's so freaking loud. There's a huge wraparound bar. You see a massive dance floor. And then there's a DJ booth that's kind of raised up a little bit, sort of in the back. Let me have everybody make perception checks first.
These ones have been on the bench for a while. We're going to see. Not bad. 18.
18. Uland, what'd you get? I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Got 13.
Correct.
13. Okay. Okay. So with a 13, here's what both of you say, and then I'll go over the 18 stuff. So first you see behind the DJ booth, with like doing that thing. I actually have headphones right here. Doing that thing where it's very like this. Do you know what I mean? Like very.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. uh, is a full just a skeleton. Like a I don't know how
It's a
else to explain
straight up
it.
skeleton.
A skeleton. Just
Hell yeah.
straight up skeleton is mixing the songs and stuff like that. A
DJ
couple of
Boney
times
Boy.
when you close actually. There's a couple of times where like songs switch, and you know how it does like a lot of times on like hip hop tracks especially it'll say the DJ's name kind of thing.
Yeah.
It does that and you just hear like
DJ Bone Powder.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
you also see there's only like a handful of people who are already here. There's probably like maybe like 12 people here right now. This place could fit so many. You could fit over 100 people here probably easily, but there's only like 10 12 people here. In terms of like customers, or at least you think they're probably customers. Like some people are dancing, some people are sitting down talking to each other and stuff like that. You see a man and a woman speaking to one another. It's interesting because the woman has this like very, very light blue, almost white skin. And she's talking to this guy who has like dark green skin. The guy with the green skin has a lot of stitches all over his face, and you see that like there are parts of his flesh that are kind of like missing. He has like zombie vibes to him. And the girl, as she's talking to him, somebody walking past like accidentally bumps into her, and she like goes and like as she bumps forward, her arm accidentally goes through the zombie guy, like incorporeally. She's like essentially a half ghost.
Okay.
So there's like moments where you can kind of see through her, but it's like not 100%. It's like very slight. You see behind the bar is a guy who's just like a bartender essentially, who's shaking up drinks and stuff like that and pouring martinis and cocktails and shots and all different kinds of things. You catch ever so slightly like just a moment when he's talking to a customer and he like flashes a smile, and you see that he's got two massive fangs and like kind of red eyes, not glowing like the nuns. Which, by the way, you also see there are like 4 more nuns, and they all look identical. There's like one at a back archway that seems to go to the bathrooms and stuff like that. There's one by the bar. There's 2 standing by a staircase that goes up to a second level. And then you also see sitting at the bar, there's like a small rat guy. He's just like a were-rat who's just like living in the lycanthrope hybrid form kind of thing, and is just like sitting there drinking a martini that has that's red and then has like a like a floater at top kind of thing, like just clear liquid at the very top of it. And next to him is a sort of like harpy woman. She has like her arms are like wings and hands, like kind of like a bat in that way, where there's like hands like with fingers and stuff like that, where she can like grab a glass, but also like there's feathers coming out of the forearms and stuff like that. She has like massive talons for feet, but then other than that is like mostly humanoid. And yeah, what are you guys? Oh, and then with the 18, Jastor, you notice that staircase goes up. You're looking around the place. You don't see like a balcony or any second floor that seems to be open to customers.
Right.
As you sort of like just casually sort of go in that direction, not to like make it seem like you're gonna pass the nuns or anything, but like just kind of looking off in that direction, you do see that upstairs there's a hallway and a couple of shut doors. It does look like business space, if you will. what would you guys like to do in the church as the music is thumping?
Couple things, maybe involving a harpy, but I'm not going to say
it. First things first. I think I'm gonna get it.
That sounds about right. Yeah, let's go up to the bartender.
Okay. You guys head over to the bartender. Has like black hair, kind of shaggy, but still pretty short, and has a bunch of tattoos all over his neck and arms and stuff like that. Has these like massive fangs, like I said, you can see them easily when he speaks. His eyes just look like, you know, people have brown eyes and blue eyes. He just has red eyes. Like they're not glowing or anything super crazy like that, but he just has red eyes. And he's like shaking a drink for one person. Yeah, how's it going? How can I help you two?
I just raise my finger and say old fashioned.
All right. I can do that for you, no problem.
I'll just do it.
You know, we have specials too. We have house specials if you are interested. We got the plasma martini, we got the frankincense shot, penicillin, and the Bloody Mary. It's not what you think.
Which one?
Oh, I meant specifically the Bloody Mary.
Right.
People are gonna think that it's just
a regular bloody,
shit,
yeah. But it's not. That actually, if it's not, that sounds pretty gross.
I mean, it's not blood. That's what
Okay.
I'm thinking. The plasma martini is blood. Well, plasma specifically.
Right.
It's both, I guess. It's a blood martini
Sure.
with a floater of plasma.
Sure. I think I'll just do a beer, my guy.
Okay.
I'm not feeling adventurous. That's the old fashioned.
All right. Suit yourselves. Okay. He finishes mixing that drink, and then he gives you a glass of beer and mixes up you an old fashioned.
All right.
We won't worry about prices.
Should we mention
you pay for them? He charges you. So
should
you
we
guys obviously
I mean to see.
have never been around here before.
Why did he say that? Okay, it's kind of obvious.
He smiles really big. He's like, yeah, you know, you work here long enough, you get used to seeing everybody. It's kind of the same crowd every once in a while. So, hey, happy to have you and everything. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable or anything. That's why I'm not pushing the specials. But
I appreciate it. I'm Uland. What's your name?
Uland. They call me Song.
Song?
Song.
Yeah. Oh.
Fun fact, Song is Korean for blood. Because he's a vampire person.
I didn't know that. That's fun. We're having fun
Behind
here.
the scenes. How the
fun
DM
here.
comes up with names.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh, Bing Translate. Anyway.
Goobing?
All right.
Is this a new thing?
I almost fucked up. Got myself. You see somebody comes up like hyena person, like the equivalent, like in D&D gnolls are very common, right? As a monster. You see a gnoll woman walk up to the bar. She kind of similar to the lycanthrope, the were-rat, is kind of like humanoid hyena person, essentially. Comes up to the bar, asks Song for a Bloody Mary. He goes, all right. Goes behind the bar, like mixes a couple of things together, holds the glass up to, like pulls out a mirror, holds the glass up to the mirror. His reflection doesn't show up in the mirror, and he just looks into the mirror and goes, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. and you just see like a phantom, sort of phantasmal woman's face appear, and just like banshee screams, and you see the glass like frosts over, and he's like, "Thank you." And then the woman's voice is like, "You're welcome," and then disappears back into the mirror. Hands the glass to the Knoll woman who pays for it and gets onto the dance floor.
So we got the Mothman. We have literal Bloody Mary. We have...
yeah. Now the drink itself, was it vodka and the tomato juice that went into it?
No,
it's just some random. Okay.
Yeah, it almost looked like a Long Island iced tea.
Fair enough.
But just
I might try
one added stuff to it.
Yeah, I might try one of those later. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Do we
know how to start asking about tea?
I sure don't.
Because I don't want to just be like, "Hey, who's tea?"
Yeah. So I did see that there's the business area up like that. Like I kind of vaguely point my head over there. There's like a way upstairs.
Yeah. That's the boss's office, and his not his partner. He works under him, but I guess his accountant has an office up there too.
What are their names?
What?
Just out of curiosity.
The accountant's name is Mr. I don't know his real name. I mean, this is just what he goes by, but Mr. Miedo.
Okay.
And then the boss's name is Trinculo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is Trinculo here? Who is Trinculo?
Yeah.
Tell me about him.
Yeah.
Them. Sorry.
Trinculo. No, it's all good. You didn't know. Yeah, Trinculo. I mean, they've always owned this place as far back as I can remember, just trying to provide a safe space for, us, and kind of like motions around to all of the sort of monster folk people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kind of providing a nice place for us to all hang out, kind of build community, I guess. Little chaotic, little strange at times, but has always been good to me, so I don't complain. I don't ask too many questions,
You haven't heard anything about someone trying to buy this place out, have you?
No.
That's good.
No way. I don't think so, at least. I mean, not that I've heard of. I mean, you're more than welcome to ask Trinculo. I mean, they're just up in their office right now, and we just opened. We're not very busy right now. If you want, I can.
That would be awesome.
Honestly, yeah. I kind of love the sense of community. Man, Trinculo sounds like they really know what they're doing about keeping things local. Yeah, are they available for a conversation?
Yeah. Let me check. Reaches under the bar, pulls out the most old-timey phone you've ever seen in your life.
Nice.
Has the part for your talking, and then holds a thing up to his ear.
Oh yeah, old school. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right. Yeah, Trinculo. How's it going? That song. I know. Yeah, I got two gentlemen down here who are interested in talking to you about the community that you're building here and everything like that. Seem like nice people. Haven't been to the church before, I don't think. Send them up. All right, we'll do. All right, bye. Yeah. Yeah. Go on up. Tell the nuns that Trinculo said it was okay, and if they give you any grief, just point in my direction. I'll give you the thumbs up.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
You ever just ask for permission and get it? It's weird.
It's wild. As we're walking away, just wild.
Look at each other it's okay.
We had to literally break into the last place.
I know. Still feel bad about that, but man, there's some shit going on.
Yeah,
Let's
go talk to the Trinculo.
Heck yeah. Just so we're on the same page. Probably T from that letter, right?
100%.
Okay.
100%. As soon as they said it was a Tarincular, I'm like, oh, that's it. Got it. There it is.
Yep. You both head towards the nuns. You tell them that Trinculo wants to meet with you and that you have a meeting with them and everything like that. They let you by, no problem. They kind of like look at each other and they just kind of like shrug and they're like, whatever. And they let you past. A little interesting for bouncers not to take, or bouncers and or security to not take like an extra step. There might be a reasoning behind that. You're not 100% sure, but they just let you by.
Right.
You head up the stairs, down this hallway. There's one closed door off to the side, and then there's the main office that is open. And as you approach and enter, you see sitting behind an absolutely lavish, like mahogany, dark wood desk, a massive chair behind it with red like velvet, gold inlay and stuff like that, is an individual who has bright, like Kelly green, bright green hair that looks like it's perpetually wet. Like it just looks like it's like slicked back, but it doesn't necessarily look like gel. It almost just looks like they just came out of the water, kind of thing. And it just like constantly, it's kind of long, like just past their shoulders, just past it. They're wearing bright red lipstick, like massive eyelashes. They have their feet up on the desk, like crisscrossed, you know, like
Naturally.
leaning back with their legs up. You see they're wearing like fishnet leggings with these massive platform heels on, and has like a corset on. Looks very much like the Joker mixed with Dr. Frankenfurter.
Nice. Getting Frankenfurter vibes.
And as soon as you enter, Trinculo stands up and says, "Oh, welcome. Fantastic. I can't wait to meet you. I've heard that there were some newbies downstairs. Please, have a seat, have a seat."
Sure.
Oh, shit. This is going to be fun. All right. Yeah, I'll take a seat.
All right. Okay. So, what's going on? What do you want to know? My life is an open book. Not literally, but it can be for the right price. So, what's on your mind?
T, anything you want to start with?
Well,
Jastor.
we were by the zoo earlier and had a
Ooh.
bit of a run-in with Dr. Monotream.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more. Did it involve some shenanigans?
There were shenanigans that were had. I died momentarily.
Oh. But you're back.
But I'm back.
Incredible. Oh, I see what's going on here. You've got a little bit of a deal going on with an archfiend. Anyway.
Fiend?
That can't be
I
the
don't know
reason you
about a
came.
fiend.
Oh,
He
I
seemed
think I
pretty
can tell
cool.
the flavor. Some of
Shoot,
fiends are my
okay.
best friends.
Okay.
Yes. A particularly chaotic one seems to have their grips on you.
Jeez.
Shame I couldn't have been there, but it sounds delightful.
Yeah, are you aware of some of the other stuff that was happening over there at the zoo?
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps.
What do you want? We want info. What do you want? I just cut the bullshit straight to it.
You see Trinculo lean forward, and sort of rests their head on both, exactly what I'm doing right now. Keep forgetting that we're on camera. I can just be like, he does this, or excuse me, they do this. Does this, and Trinculo's voice drops and goes, "Now we're talking. Finally. Well, here's what I would like. I would like to know exactly what you want to know. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I want to know what your greatest fears are. Let's start there, and then I'll tell you about the time that I blowtorched someone's kneecaps off. Because he looked at me funny and I didn't like it."
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Okay. My fear?
Yes.
It's almost embarrassing to say out loud.
No, come on, I promise I won't laugh. And they go like this, and you see an actual zipper zip their mouth closed.
Jeez.
Wild.
All right.
Absolutely unhinged.
Dying alone.
Amazing.
It's. You wouldn't think someone like me, all rough in appearance, would have a fear like that, but it keeps me up at night.
Sometimes the prickliest of fruits are soft on the inside. That's what I've found. Like durian.
Oh, yeah, durian.
I've never had
What
it.
about you, goblin friend?
I'm Jastor, by the way.
Pleasure.
The honestly, biggest fear, gored to death by zombies.
Oh, interesting. A little bit of spice. I like it. All right. Well, that gives me lots to think about. Anyway, okay. So you've told me your greatest fears. I really appreciate that. I can tell you're telling the truth. So, what is it you want to know?
I want to know how to bring justice to this town. We know some shenanigans are going on. We want to know who's really pulling the strings.
Yes, you want to find the puppet master. Well, I'm sure you've already found out that Dr. Monotream is but a pawn on this chessboard called capitalism. The real question is, who is the queen and who is the king? Right?
Absolutely.
Interesting. See, I'm on a different board altogether. I'm sort of a gin rummy sort of person. But here's the deal. I know that they had a bunch of police officers in their pocket. Isn't that interesting? Specifically detectives, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
You mean the police are in on it? No.
Well, I'm so surprised.
Oh, but it gets better. It gets so much better. Tell me, are you familiar with how certain subsidiaries worked, where sometimes an organization can funnel their funds into a sort of entity, and
Like
then
crypto?
use that entity to send money over to somebody else? Like what?
Like crypto?
Yes, it's sort of. I actually have no idea.
I don't know how.
Somebody came around asking about it.
No, I still don't know how it works.
I don't.
I'm just, it's kind of one of those things. I just keep throwing it out there, and hopefully I'll make the right connection some point.
One day. So, here's what I know. I'll give you one little tiny piece of information, and then you do something for me, and then I'll give you much more information, all right? First piece of information. Who are the three detectives who are in on this sort of, this little scheme? These planners?
We have names of three
There are
individuals.
three of them. Yes. Jefferson, Adams, Washington.
Yep.
J-A-W.
Oh my. Does the word love mean anything to you?
I mean, when I think of love, I think of romance.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe I was missing
Okay. A
mama.
lot of things are falling in now. All right.
Oh, do you both of you mind? It seems like you've got a lot going on in your heads. Do you mind if I just take a 10-second break really quickly? I just have to do something.
Sure.
You don't have to go anywhere. Everything's fine. All right. One
You do
moment.
you.
Pulls a drawer out, takes a handful, reaches into the drawer, pulls out a handful of rubies, does one of these things and rubs their hands together, and you just see them turn into dust in their hands, and then sprinkles them over like LeBron James style, just does one of these, sprinkles ruby dust over themselves, and you see their entire outline begins to glow red, and then two cells splitting apart like mitosis. You see Trinculo split into two Trinculos.
Oh dear.
And goes, whew, all right, now I have a partner. I was just doing that later. We're going to have sex. Me and me.
Wow.
But that's later.
Sure.
Yes, I know. You started talking about your fears and I got excited. Here's the deal.
Whatever does
I want
it
to
for
tell you more information. But it seems like you've already gotten a lot of information just from what I've already said. So here's what I ask for. Bring me back the badges of those 3 detectives. If you can do that, then you're worthy of more information.
Now, by bring you the badges, do you mean just the badges?
I just mean the badges. Just the badges.
Okay.
Trust me, if I wanted their heads or their fingers or something like that, I would have asked for it.
Fair enough.
Trust me. I have a sneaking suspicion that you all are about to go on a little adventure. And I don't think you're very well equipped for it right now. It seems like you've just undergone a battle and haven't had a chance to sleep. I hate that for you.
Very true.
It would be nice to take a decent sleep. Maybe at least
All
8
right.
hours.
Well, unfortunately, there's no time for that. So,
Right.
each of you needs to take one of these. Hands you each a purple and yellow pill. Sort of a long rest in a quick swallow.
Oh dear.
Master, you immediately
Yeah.
receive all the benefits of a long rest.
Oh yeah.
Nice. And me,
Uland, are you taking the pill?
I will totally take.
Taylor
yeah.
actually mimed taking the pill. That's why I said that. But
Jeez. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'll do it.
okay.
It's a club. why not?
You see Jastor immediately wounds are being closed, just instantly looks 1,000% better. You go ahead and take that pill. You also receive all the benefits of a long rest. You're back
Nice.
full hit points, spell slots, and the 9 yards. And then Trinculo leans forward again and says, so we don't get the best reception in the church, but I imagine that you both probably have a voicemail that you should be listening to.
Okay.
And
Do you want me to
It's
hit the
at
button?
this time, please hit the button, my friend.
Hey y'all, this is Belkor. Making my way to the subway down the street here. It's been abandoned for a bit. While I was in the burn ward, I got a strange text from someone saying that they have some info on this case that we're working on. Since it is the subway, I might be losing my signal here shortly. Make my way in now and what? Wait, who?
And that's all for this week's episode of Sphinx City.
Yo,
Oh man.
let's go. All right. Oh man, getting to hear Belkor's voice just brought a smile to my face.
Brilliant, right? I was very happy that Dale was down to work with me on that.
That's kind of fantastic. Thank you for that.
Immediately sent me so many drafts of that exact message.
It's good for that.
But very good for that. Well, Gang, I hope you all had an incredible time watching the 3rd episode of Sphinx City presented by So You Want to Be a DM. You can find us everywhere that you find podcasts. We also have a Patreon. We have a TikTok and Instagram, a YouTube. We obviously have a Twitch. Feel free to follow us and be a fan. Join the gang everywhere that you can. Tune in next time where we can figure out what the hell happened to Belkor. Bye!
Bye, everybody.
See ya.